The wabbit, kill the wabbit. Hello, that'll make sense in a couple of minutes, I think. Welcome, dry your tears. Here you are at the Friday Noontime webcast from Mighty Fine Guitars in Lafayette, California. Boy, do I have a strange one to show you today. I just never know what's going to happen. There I sit, chipping away, as you know, at the mountain of email that is my life. And people walk in the door with all kinds of guitars for me to help them sell. This one, I'm appealing to you folks to help me. Oh, hang on a second. Make sure that things are happening here. Hey, Mert. There we go. Okay, good. Looks like things are happening. This one, I'm appealing to you folks to help me identify this guitar. The closest we can come from two good sources, John Mendel and Taya Gherkin, and yours truly, two and a half good sources. A 19th century German guitar, very small, very tiny little guitar, what today we would call a parlor guitar, which then they would call a guitar, because dreadnoughts weren't even thought of back then. The thing that most of us associate with guitars because we saw them on the covers of albums. Remember covers of albums? Those were, by and large, dreadnoughts, except that little goofy guitar that Dylan played on that one album cover, and that girly guitar that Joan Baez played. But a real guitar was a dreadnought, goddammit. This is not that. This is a very small... We think it's German, and we think it's German because on the back, this woodworking depicts a scene... Oh, let me see. Hang on a sec, folks. Let me be sure I've got this in the picture. Yeah, looks like it. Depicts a scene that I will try to get into the camera fully for you here. From an opera called Lohengrin. I hope I'm pronouncing that remotely correctly. There's our hero riding the Swan chariot from a Wagner opera. Wagner. Boo, for the most part. Yeah. So one of those guys, brilliant, but not right. It depicts that there on the side of the guitar are more of this technique, whatever it is. And now this is where I'm really going to flaunt my ignorance. These figures on the sides and on the back are raised. They're not inlaid, I don't think, unless it's inlaid with a little extra height on it. You woodworkers out there, what is this technique called, and how do they do it? I think the back and sides are walnut, the top is spruce, and it actually plays. Now it's not a fabulous sounding guitar. Actually, it's a really good sounding guitar. I'm tuned down a whole step here. And the tuners are on backwards, which is interesting. It actually sounds surprisingly good. And it intonates surprisingly good. It's not perfect. But compared to like a 1974 Martin, boy, I tell you, when I see that blue Martin case from the mid-1970s come in, the blue plastic one, I think, oh, God, I'm going to have to be that guy on Antiques Roadshow that says, oh, you know, this is not what you think it is, but take it home and enjoy it with your family. So many of the guitars, the Martin guitars, the dreadnoughts in particular, from the 1970s, the bridges were put on in the wrong place. They kind of forgot that the tools they were using were made of wood. To place the bridges, the jigs they were using, were made of wood. And so those jigs put the bridges on in the wrong place, which meant you were fine in the first three frets. You were okay. It sounded all right. The minute you got out of the shallow end of the pool here, up into the no money zone, you had problems with intonation. And this one actually intonates remarkably well. I think I wanted to do a taste test of this guitar now and later. I'm going to restring it, but I wanted you to hear it, even with old strings. I take it back. It's a lovely sounding guitar. The fingerboard is very narrow, 1 5/8, so big old man fingers trying to get in there. It's tough. Presumably, guitars, at least in America, now I'll have to look this up. I'm not sure what was going on in Germany. And perhaps John Mendel, if you're there, you can help me with this. Small guitars, because they were small at the time, were played by ladies in the parlor, which is why they were called parlor guitars, for people who aspired to the upper classes but were perhaps not upper class and could not afford a piano in the parlor, but could afford a guitar that the lady could play to class the joint up. I was looking at the tuners and I thought, boy, those are in really good shape. They must have replaced those plastic tuners. Those are not plastic tuners. That's ivory, I'm sad to say. I'm sure it looked a whole lot better on the elephant it came from. God, don't get me started on elephants and ivory. I had the good fortune to work at Marine World years ago announcing shows. And one of my best friends at Marine World was Margie, the elephant. Anybody remember Margie? Well, you all remember Margie, even though you don't know you know Margie, because she was the bantha in Star Wars, in that first Star Wars picture. That was Margie. It was a great pal of mine. I miss her. I'll give you another look at this. This is, oh, you know what? I printed up a little thing. And I'll even read you more about the opera that we're pretty sure this is from. I think it's pronounced, Taya, help me out, Lohengrin. Close. Lohengrin, pronounced L-O, upside down, dui, doing, two, point, two, wop, 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 wop. In German is WWV 75. It's a romantic opera in 3 acts composed and written by Richard Wagner. Well, first performed in 1850, the story of the eponymous character is taken from the medieval German romance, notably the Parzival of Wolfram von Eschenbach, and its sequel, Lohengrin, inspired itself inspired by the epic of Garin de Lorraine. It is part of the Night of the Swan legend. Right. They didn't address this particular opera in the Looney Tunes cartoons, so I'm not familiar with it. But apparently this is our hero guy, the Knight of the Swan, and these are his swans. The opera has inspired other works of art. King Ludwig II of Bavaria named his castle Neuschwanstein Castle after the Swan Knight. It was King Ludwig's patronage that later gave Wagner the means and opportunity to build a theater for and stage his epic cycle, Der Ring der Nibelungen. He had continued composing it at the end of Act 2 of Siegfried and Blindham de Ha de Ha de Ha. There we go. We also know this opera for, what is it, the overture? The most popular and recognizable part of the opera is the bridal chorus, colloquially known as, in English-speaking countries, as Here Comes the Bride, usually played as a processional at weddings. Here comes the bride, do, do, do. Here comes the bride, she's the one wearing white, maybe. I think that's right. Oh, thank you, Taya. Pretty good pronunciation. Thank you. Very, very kind, Taya Gherkin. Hiya, Bunny. Folks, tune in to Bunny. Bunny, are you doing a four-fer today? Are they four-fer Fridays? Or are you still doing three-fers? And tell us what time. Folks, when you're done here, half an hour later, or at 1 o'clock Pacific time, I think, Bunny Barnes does an educational and entertaining feature every Friday on her Facebook wall. Are we still calling them walls? Or am I dating myself? And is that carbon dating in this case? There's Jane Williams. Hi, Jane. Yeah, it's not every day you get to see a guitar with a swan chariot. this, and some week soon, I'll feature this guitar again restrung. I just wanted you to hear it this way. Still sounds pretty darn good, even though I'm probably getting tetanus off of these strings, which are perhaps a little beyond it. I gotta sharpen up my fingers, get them a little finer point. You stick them in the pencil sharpener. It's here. It's at Mighty Fine Guitars. We're asking $1,800 American dollars for it, just cause. It's real old construction. It's had a couple of splits fixed. It's quite remarkable. Give you a slow turn here. Do my best Carol Merrill. Look at that. And one more shot of the backside. You'll pardon the expression. There's the Night of the Swans. Thank you, Michael. Thanks for the affirmation. Lovely. Hey, Steve. Well, all right. That's the one I have to show you this week. Do feel free to tune in again next week, and do feel free to pass this video along to friends and family you think might be interested in this sort of thing. I record them live to Facebook. Then I bounce them over to my Facebook Mighty Fine Guitars page, the wall over there. And from there to, excuse me, to Instagram, and then over to the YouTube channel, and that's the place where things will live forever. Facebook has finally wised up and does not allow you to keep videos indefinitely on Facebook. They disappear after 30 days. I wondered when that was going to happen, but it's been, for the longest time, years and years. Post anything, and it stays up there as long as you want it. That is changing. So if you want to take a look at any of these old videos, I'm slowly but surely bouncing them over to my YouTube channel, which is Stevie Coyle Music. Capital S-T-E-V-I-E, Coyle Music. All one term. Any comments or questions that need to be? 4 for Friday, 4 o'clock Eastern. Very good, Bunny. There it is. Terrific. Slim necks make fingers feel thicker. Exactly right. This one, I think, is 1 5/8, which is narrower even than a dreadnought, and that's going some. But, after a couple of minutes, my hand will get accustomed to almost anything. I can kind of get in there and get my posture better, my left-hand posture a little more perpendicular. Again, you'll pardon the expression. Well, there it is. There's no brand name that I know of, but again, I'm appealing to you folks out there. If you know what this is and when exactly it came from, I'd be most grateful if you'd post that over to me. That'd be great. I'd sure appreciate it. Till next week, who knows what's going to walk in the door? I sure don't. It's quite remarkable. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you down the road, everybody. Bye-bye. Safe travels out there. There's a lot of nuts on the road.